Most people are using AI to write emails faster and summarize PDFs, that's fine, but there's a completely different group of people using the exact same tools to build income streams that run while they sleep, and the gap between those two groups is not skill. It's not connections. It's just knowing where to look. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 technical, actually implementable ways to make money with AI right now in 2026. Not vague ideas, not start a blog. Real methods with real tool chains, real numbers, and a clear path to your first dollar. Let's get into it. Before we get into the methods, one thing you need to understand: AI didn't create new money. It removed friction from existing business models. The people winning right now aren't doing exotic things, they're doing boring, proven things, faster, cheaper, and more scalably than anyone else. That's the lens for every method in this video. You're not betting on AI being revolutionary. You're using it as a production multiplier on top of businesses that already work. Also, everything I'm covering today uses tools you can sign up for tonight. No venture capital, no team, no technical degree required. The single highest ROI thing you can do right now if you have any technical curiosity at all is learn to build AI-powered automations and sell them to small and mid-sized businesses. Here's why this works. Every business has repetitive processes: lead follow-up, invoice reminders, customer onboarding, report generation, support ticket routing. These things take employees hours every week. An automation you build in a weekend can eliminate that entirely, and businesses will pay $500 to $3,000 for a one-time build, plus a monthly retainer to maintain it. The tool chain is simple. You need 3 things. N8N. This is your automation backbone. It's like Zapier but open source, self-hostable, and it has native AI nodes built in. You can connect it to any API including OpenAI, Claude, Google Sheets, Gmail, Slack, Airtable, HubSpot, all of it. If you don't want to self-host, they have a cloud version. Free tier gets you started. An AI model wang You're going to use Claude or GPT-4o as the reasoning layer inside your automations. So your workflow isn't just moving data around, it's actually making decisions, classifying things, writing outputs, summarizing content, a trigger source, email, a form submission, a webhook, a schedule, something that kicks off the workflow. A real example: I'll build a workflow that watches a Gmail inbox for inbound leads, uses Claude to classify intent and urgency, drafts a personalized reply, and posts a Slack notification with a summary. That workflow took me 2 hours to build. A small business owner would pay $800 for that and $150 a month to keep it running. Another one: a weekly competitive intelligence report. N8N scrapes a list of competitor URLs on a schedule, feeds the content to Claude, which summarizes key changes and new announcements, and emails you a digest every Monday morning. I've sold that for $500 setup and $200 a month. The consulting model here is 3-phase. Paid discovery, maybe $200, $500, where you map their current process and identify automation points. Implementation, where you build it. Then a retainer, because once it's live they always want changes and additions. How to get your first client: go to any local business Facebook group, any LinkedIn industry feed, and just ask one question: what's the most repetitive thing your team does every week? You will get answers immediately. Those answers are your sales pitch. Revenue potential: 3K, 8K per month with 3 to 5 retainer clients. Scalable to 20K once you start packaging and systematizing your delivery. This one is for people who want a product, not a service. And in 2026, the barrier to building software is basically gone. A micro SaaS is a small, focused software product that solves one very specific problem for a very specific audience. It charges a monthly subscription to your ODAO, usually $19 to $99, and because it's automated, it runs at near zero marginal cost once it's built. The reason this is newly accessible is Claude and GPT-4 APIs plus tools like Cursor, Replit, and Bolt.new. You can describe a product in plain English and have a working prototype in hours, not a mock-up, a working app with a UI, a database, and API calls. Here's the formula: niche pain point, plus AI, API, plus simple UI, plus Stripe, plus micro SaaS. Real examples that people are shipping right now: a contract review tool for freelancers. You upload a PDF contract, the app sends it to Claude with a system prompt that flags risky clauses and summarizes the key terms in plain English. UI is 3 pages. Cost to build, 1 weekend. Pricing, $29 month. The market is every freelancer who's ever been burned by a bad contract and doesn't want to pay a lawyer. A job description analyzer, paste a job listing, and it scores how well your resume matches, identifies missing keywords, and suggests specific edits. Scrape job boards with Playwright, pipe content to GPT-4, render results in a clean React UI. 19-month. Target market. Everyone actively job hunting. A meeting notes to CRM tool. Paste raw meeting notes or upload a transcript and it extracts action items, next steps, and contact details, then pushes them directly into HubSpot or Notion via API. Sales teams pay for this without hesitating. The technical stack I'd recommend if you're starting fresh: Replit or Bolt.new for rapid prototyping, Supabase for your database and auth, Stripe for payments, and the Anthropic or OpenAI API as your AI layer. That entire stack costs you maybe $20 a month to run. Marketing. Post your build process publicly on X or LinkedIn from day 1. Document every step. Day 1. Had an idea. Day 3. Here's the prototype. Day 7. First paying user. That narrative drives early signups without spending $1 on ads. Revenue potential. $500, $2,000 month with 5,100 users. Multiple micro SaaS products compound. The ceiling is high if you hit product market fit. This one is a cheat code whether you use it for your own business or sell it as a done-for-you service. The idea: build an automated outbound pipeline using AI to research, personalize, and send cold outreach at scale, while still sounding like a human wrote it. The stack: Apollo.io for lead database and contact data, N8N or Make.com for the automation backbone, Claude or GPT-4 for writing personalized first lines and email copy, and Instantly or Lemlist for sending and tracking. Here's how it works step by step. You pull a list of 500 target contacts from Apollo based on filters: job title, company size, industry, tech stack they use. Apollo gives you name, company, LinkedIn URL, email, and often recent news about the company. You pipe that data into N8N. For each contact, you feed their company name, role, and any recent news into Claude with a prompt that writes a 2-sentence personalized opener. Something that references a real signal. They just raised a round. They're hiring for a specific role. Their CEO just posted about a challenge. Not generic. Not, I saw your profile and was impressed. That personalized opener gets plugged into a proven email template, and the full email gets handed off to Instantly for sequence sending, 3 to 5 touchpoints over 2 weeks. Response rates on AI personalized outreach are running 8-15% right now, compared to 1-2% for generic blasts. Now here's the business angle. You can sell this as a done-for-you lead generation service. You charge $1,500, $3,000 a month to run this entire system for a B2B company. You're not cold calling. You're not writing emails manually. You're running a machine. Your job is setup, monitoring, and optimization. Or you charge a one-time fee of $2,000, $5,000 to build and hand over the system to a business that wants to run it themselves. Either way, every B2B company on the planet needs this. Sales is the one function where ROI is immediately measurable, which makes it an easy sell. This is the most straightforward entry point if you want to close your first deal fast. Small and medium businesses, real estate agencies, law firms, dental offices, e-commerce stores, home services companies, all have the same 2 problems: too many repetitive customer questions and leads that go cold because nobody follows up fast enough. An AI chatbot solves both, and you can build and deploy one in a day. The stack: voice flow or BotPress for building the conversation flow visually. No code needed. Connected to the Claude or OpenAI API for the AI layer. Embedded on their website with a single script tag. If you want to get fancier, you can connect it to their CRM via Zapier or N8N so captured leads flow directly in. A real example: a real estate agency chatbot. It greets site visitors, asks what they're looking for, qualifies budget and timeline, answers common questions about listings, and books a showing, all without a human involved. That agency is getting leads at 2 a.m. that previously just bounced. Pricing model: $500, $1,500 to build, $300, $500 month retainer for maintenance, updates, and monitoring. Some people charge per conversation volume at scale. How to get clients? Find businesses that have terrible or no chatbots, which is most of them. Build a free demo for their specific business using publicly available info from their website. show up with the demo already built. Conversion rate on that approach is extremely high because you've already done 80% of the work and they can see it working. Scale this by building templates for specific verticals, one for real estate, one for legal, one for HVAC, and reselling the same core system with minor customization each time. You're not starting from scratch every time, you're deploying. This is the highest ceiling play on this list, and it's still early enough that most businesses have no idea what to even ask for. Agentic AI means AI that doesn't just answer questions, it takes actions, it browses the web, executes code, manages files, sends emails, makes API calls, and chains multi-step tasks together with minimal human input. Frameworks like LangGraph, Crew AI, and Claude's Tool Use API let you build agents that can do things like monitor competitor pricing and update your own, scan job boards for specific opportunities and auto-apply, research prospects and generate full briefing documents, or run quality checks on content pipelines automatically. The business model here is consulting and implementation. You're not selling a product, you're selling a custom-built autonomous system. Engagements run $5,000, $25,000 for the build, with ongoing retainers for maintenance. The clients who need this, ops-heavy businesses like logistics and fulfillment, financial services firms doing repetitive research, recruiting agencies drowning in resume screening, marketing agencies with high content volume. You don't need to be a machine learning engineer. You need to understand APIs, be comfortable with Python at a basic level, and know how to prompt well. Claude's documentation for tool use is excellent and has working code examples you can start from today. If you want to fast-track this skill, build one agent for yourself first. Pick a repetitive task in your own life or business. Automate it with Claude and N8N. Document what you built. That becomes your portfolio piece and your pitch. So, those are 5 methods: workflow automation consulting, micro SaaS, AI-powered outbound, chatbot deployment, and agentic systems. Here's how to pick one. Look at what you already know. If you're a marketer, start with outbound automation. You already understand the sales process. If you have any dev background, micro SaaS or agentic systems. If you're a good communicator with no technical background, chatbot deployment is your fastest on-ramp because the tools are visual and the sales conversation is simple. Pick one, run it for 90 days without switching. The biggest mistake people make is bouncing between ideas the moment something feels slow. Compounding doesn't start until you stay. The tools mentioned in this video, N8N, Bolt.new, VoiceFlow, Apollo, Instantly, all have free tiers or free trials. You can start building tonight without spending $1. If this was useful, subscribe. I go deep on the technical implementation side of all of these in upcoming videos. Drop a comment with which method you're starting with. I read everyone. See you in the next one.